Hello and welcome to Mock Productions. You are here with me, Matthew, and we are here with the round from the first day of the pre-releases. So we are starting straight off here. Me going first. We got a Rockruff in the active. And my opponent's got a Furfrou in the active. So we've attached an energy for turn. We can't attack using this Rockruff because we need two, but we're Lilying straight away on this turn. Very nice. For 3 cards, finding 2 basics there, very, very cool. And that is our turn right there, very cool. So we went with an all-fighting deck, which is really, really cool. It can be a bit of a pain, but because some of the fighting Pokemon are weak to Psychic and others are weak to Grass, it becomes pretty cool. Furfrou there, all it needs is 1 energy, which is what my opponent has got on it. And he's nest balling as well. The Furfrou allows you to do 20 damage, and you can also stock up your hand until it has 5 in its entirety. He's nest balled for a Zergatry there. Very nice. Shuffling his deck. So I know he's going to probably do the 20 damage, because obviously he's going second. And if he has got room in his hand, he should be able to get maybe 1 or 2 cards. So it's going to be interesting. What else does he play? Oh, Great Ball as well. Seeing if he can get anything from here. So that's just energy for now. More energy. More. Oh, that looks like a Zergatry maybe. And a Magnemite there. Oh, it's a Magneton and a Magnemite. So he's going to get the Magnemite out. Place those back in, shuffle them. Now what's interesting is that normal types are weak to fighting, electric types are weak to fighting as well, so we have a massive advantage here, and I kind of knew that. As soon as you see lightning and some normal types, you just think, I'm running a full-on fighting deck here, this is going to be interesting. So Magnemite goes down on the bench. He's playing a Fossil Excavation map, I think it is. Which basically allows you to search out a fossil excavation kit, and he doesn't play any of them, so I don't know why that went into his deck, quite honest. It just confused me, but there we go. So I'm just having a look at what that does. 20 damage going on there, and he can draw until he has 5 in his hand. That's fine. So what are we going to do here? Are we going to possibly be that person? Yeah, we might. We look as if we are going to do it. And yeah, we're going to roll to see if we can get this going through. Can we do so? Yes, we can. So that's knocked out. Furfrou does have 90 health, which is pretty good for a basic, to be honest. But because obviously it's weak to fighting, and that thing did 50, it's pretty good there. Now he's attached there before drawing, but that's fine. I mean, it's only pre-release. I'm not exactly going to penalise him, especially with the new rules now that are saying that if you do a really bad thing, then you can possibly get 4 prizes taken off you, which is pretty interesting. So he's got another Furfrou to his bench. I think he's done another 20 damage. No, he hasn't. I don't think he did actually do the 20 damage, which is odd because he could have confused. Oh, he has confused us. Yeah, now we're retreating. Okay, cool. And we're bringing up here the... Is that Buzzwole? If that's Buzzwole, this is going to be very interesting. Is that Buzzwole? I can't even see. I think it is. It's that, or it might be Toxicroak. I can't see because of the light. It's really weird. It's got poisoned. That's Toxicroak. That's Toxicroak. So that's 40 damage on there. So ideally he needs to retreat that to get that poison to come off. Lightning energy going on to there. So he's retreating that. That poison comes off. That's fine. So he's not going to take any more poison damage. And then the Furfrou comes back up again. He can now draw to get 5, which it looks as if he's going to be doing that. Yep, so that's 20 going on there. We draw another card. What are we going to do now? We're going to attach that. And again, we can do the same thing and attack for knockout here because Toxicroak has the one of the attacks called Exact Revenge. Does 50. Plus, if one of my Psychic Pokemon, which I have none in this deck, but for 50 that's pretty cool, it can do 70 more. So it basically does 120 for double colourless if you want. So we get the knockout on that. Magnemite now coming up here. This is looking very interesting. Of course, both of those Pokemon that he's got are weak to fighting, and we're set up now to knock either of them out because that Xurkitree is now down to, I think it's 90 or 80 health. I think Xurkitree has 130. Magnemite and, is that a Noibat? That looks like a Noibat on the bench there. So we only need 2 more knockouts here. And we've got game, and he's not having much time to set up because he's sort of relying on the front people to be his sort of damage dealers. Now Magnemite is useless on its own, but getting up to a Magnezone and leaving that on the bench would be really cool because he could just shove all the energy onto everything he can, which is just awesome. So he's putting a Lightning Energy on that Magnemite. And I think he's just used the first move, which allows him to search for, I think it's 2 energies. I think you can search for 2 energies, which I mean isn't that's not bad, because that could probably set up for a rare candy to a Magnezone, which will then allow you to attach energy. We're attaching to what I believe is the Lycanroc now, to get ready to switch out in case he does knock us out. But we can knock out his Magnemite, leaving just 1 prize card on our side. This is looking very, very interesting. Ooh, did you see the confidence there? Did you just see that hand tapping? Oof, we're just waiting for time here. So he's attaching that. Ideally needs a Magneton. This is not going to happen, is it? No. Play that down. We're going to Kukui for that extra 20 damage, drawing 2 more cards. We can do the knockout here for... There we go, game. Very nice indeed. If you guys have got any other pre-releases coming up, make sure you check out what the cards are and what. Try not to run several different types. Like, I would say maybe run 2 with a substantial amount of energy, because there is a lot of draw support in here when you do get it. Of course, when you do have a lot of energy, you do sometimes just keep drawing into energy, which can be pretty problematic sometimes. But having that draw support is pretty good. Having some Kukuis, that's 20 extra damage plus you're drawing 2. Sophocles is really good to get rid of energies, because if you're going to run a lot of energies, you can just get rid of them, draw 4 cards, and hopefully get some basic Pokemon and everything. So he doesn't want to split. He gets to choose whether to go first or second. Not too sure at the moment whether he is going first or second. I spill a ton of cards on my deck. Why? I don't know. Flip these over. No, I'm looking to try and get a turn 1 Buzzwole here. Getting a turn 1 Buzzwole is going to be pretty cool. If you guys have seen the first video where I actually pulled the Buzzwole, I explained that if you get it turn 1, attach the energy, or at least during turn 2, sorry. If you go second, you can... What's that? Okay, that's just a Krogung. We both started with Krogung. That's good. But if you do that, you can do 120 straight away, because during pre-release you have 4 prizes, and the attack states if you have 4 prizes, you do... what is it? It basically does 120. It does 90 more damage. If not, it just does 30, which is pretty pathetic, but when you have weakness to fighting, you're knocking out pretty much everything. Now, has he just placed down Ultra Space? Yes, he has. Now, this is interesting because he's just placed that down. Now, obviously, stadiums, both people can use them. Both people are affected by them. He's placed that down, but he's not actually using it himself, which I find interesting because he could have got a Xurkitree. He could have started getting that set up. But what we can do is now we can actually activate our that Ultra Space, get the Buzzwole, start setting it up. But we're going to firstly start with the Timer Ball. What do we get there? Do we get anything? get one? Maybe two? We got two. Okay, so we got the Noivern and the Lycanroc Promo. We're also going to Ultra Space, pointing that out to him. There is the Buzzwole, so we've already got that out. That's really good. Because just one energy, as long as he doesn't take any prizes, which at this moment he's probably not going to. And Croagunk, I think, has a retreat cost of just one, which is... Oh, I think it is just one. It might be two. It's one. Croagunk is one. Toxicroak is two. So we can retreat out of that if we can attach energy this turn. Are we going to bother, or we are going to bother, which is fine. We can do the Swagger for 10 damage. Brilliant. We don't even have to roll because it does say flip a coin if heads, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. And I was thinking, oh, we could maybe get the Magnemite off active Pokemon. It's not. So Furfrou goes up onto the bench there. So is he going to attach energies to his bench and let the first one be cannon fodder? That's almost what I like to do, is sort of you put one up and you don't really focus on it. Now obviously I'm not doing that with this, but because it's only got a one retreat cost, it's pretty cool. He's playing a Looker as well, so he can get the stuff from the bottom of his deck, which is what he's doing. And then they go into his hand and he can utilise them as he wishes. So what's he going to do from here? Is he actually going to use Ultra Space? Yeah, there we go. Now he's going to use Ultra Space. One turn too late, but at least he is going to use it. Zergatry, place it. Now it does say to put it to your hand, but obviously that's fine. You can just play it straight down. If that was a Naganadel, though, he would have to have had a Poipole on the bench beforehand, obviously one turn before. Oh, look at that Nest Ball coming out there. We're going to maybe go for a Rockruff, I'm going to say. Probably going to look for a Rockruff. Yes, it's the really sad Rockruff artwork. That's sorted. Toxicroak coming up there, being evolved. Another energy going on there. We can do 50 for the knockout on his Croagunk, I believe. Yep. That gets knocked out. Nice. Now everything else is weak to fighting. So at this point, he hasn't set up that Furfrou at all. He only needs one energy on it, which is fair enough. It only does 20. At this point, I'd be playing Lysander's Lab. Or Lysander Labs. Interesting card there. It stops all, and I mean all, item cards on Pokemon. That's pretty cool. So Choice Bands, nothing. Floatstone, nothing. That could be very interesting to see how that could stop some decks from functioning, because especially like people play Octillery and they like to put Floatstones on there, or things with free retreat. He's also just played a Judge as well, but yeah, interesting. Very interesting. I might have to maybe put one or two in a deck just to see how that might disrupt a deck. Obviously it disrupts yourself, but it disrupts your opponent, and especially if they play more items than you, especially Floatstone. I don't play Floatstone. I don't like it. So I try and function the deck without a Floatstone. Most of the time it works, but a lot of people function with a Floatstone. To stop that would be brilliant. Now, of course, Field Blower will just blow that away, so, you know, there's not much going on there. Magneton, though, being evolved on his side, he's going to do the 20 damage there and draw 2 cards. Another energy going there. That is the Noibat coming down there. We can evolve there to the Lycanroc, start feeding that some energies here. And we've got that unit energy there, because obviously we can do the fighting, and we're going to get the knockout there on the Furfrou. That's easy. Zergatry coming up here. Now we can retreat this if we wanted to. If we retreat our Toxicroak, he can't power himself up, although he could power himself up. If he can get a Magnezone on the Magneton, attach 3 energies, he could actually get a knockout. Lightning energy going on there from himself, so he can do 20 and confuse us, which is what he's going to do straight away. Fair enough. We can retreat out of that, so that's all good. Now we could either bring up the Buzzwole and get a KO straight away, which is what we're seeming to look like we're going to be doing. That comes up, takes you out of confusion, brings it up, Buzzwole, and we can get the KO on the Zerga tree, leaving us with just one prize. Magneton coming up here. We can take this. If he doesn't evolve, we'll get a bench Pokemon. Another energy going on there. Can he attack us at all? He is going to attack us for 20 damage. Very nice. That leaving us completely open to do our nice sweep there and get 2 wins in a row. Very, very cool. That was round 2 of today. First round I lost, second round won, third round won. Met some really good people there. Really, you know, there was some people who hadn't been there before. There's some people who were new to Pokemon, so it was really cool to have a talk with all of them, get to learn what's going on, what cards they got. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun indeed. Not too sure what my placement was. We're just exchanging cards here and showing off what we got, but not too sure what the placement was. But it was 2 wins, 1 loss. I'll definitely take that, you know, and to get some awesome pulls as well is also a plus. But there we go. So that is that. We're all sorted, and I'll leave it here for this. So of course, hopefully, I don't know whether this one will have gone out on day 1 or it might go out day 2. I'm not too sure, but yeah, keep an eye out because there's more pre-releases to come. So I'll see you guys in the next video on the channel.